Hello everyone, welcome to SAP Technomaniac. In this video, we will discuss how to handle the select options inside the AMDP procedures and the functions. As you already know from the ABAP, we have in the standard ABAP, we have select option. In the select option, in the normal ABAP SQL, or we can say Open SQL, how we handle, we pass directly the VBLN and we put in sign, and we can put any range, not only select options, we can put any range. But these kind of facilities are not available in the SQL script language. So how in the normal ABAP it will handle? So whenever we execute this particular select statement in the application server, so what will happen? The database interface convert this ranges into the understandable form of the database language in native language. So in this case, the SQL script language is the our database language. So this all the select options converted at the database interface level and in the native form, and then it will send to the backend to the database. But in this case, when we write the code in the AMDP procedure or AMDP function, that time we are writing the code in the SQL script itself. So we can't use the select options like so we can't pass directly that particular select option. Suppose this IT underscore VBLN is one of the range of the select options, one of the range of the I can say the sales orders. I can't pass directly so in directly to IT VBLN. I try to use the select options like this: select low from the IT VBLN, then create this field and get this column, then pass to the sales order. But in this case, what will happen? I am getting only the low value. I'm not considering high value also, and I'm not considering if someone passed the range also. So in this scenario, I'm not able to handle all the select option scenario. But I can't code also everything here. Select low from this one, or select between low and high if there is some range, or select high. That kind of coding I can't do. So how to handle this particular select options in AMDP? So SAP have given us some class, the CL SHDB cell tab class. Inside this, we have one static method, combined cell tab. What this particular method will do, it will get all the select options from you, and it will convert those select options in the understandable form of the SQL script language, and it create one string. That string we can pass to our AMDP procedure or functions input parameter. Once we pass there that string we can use further to filter out the data. And for one more thing, we have one more advantage at the SQL script level. To filter out the data, we have one more function, apply filter, where we can use that particular string, and on which table you want to filter, that we can pass, and we can filter out the data. And another class also there in the ABAP, CL lib cell tab. This is got absolute. Previously we used to use this particular class to create that where condition, but in the newer version we are using only CL SHDB cell tab combined cell tab method to convert that select options in the string form in the where conditions. So now what we will do, we will jump into the system and we will see how this particular class converting our select option to a string, and that string how SQL script uses to fetch the data from the database. Let's jump into the system. I have already created one normal report. Inside this report, you can see we have 4 select options. One is the sales order, second is the line item, sales order line item, third customer, and material. I want to filter out the data based on this criteria of the select options, and I want to get the data from the VBAK sales order and from VBAP line item, and I want to get the material as well, and from the material description table I want to get the material description as well. I want to get the customer name and customer description as well. This all data I want to get from the database. So as I told you, in normal select we can directly use on the where condition in, and directly we can pass any range or select options, but SQL script we don't have facility, so we can't directly pass the select option to the AMDP. So for that, what I have to do, I have to convert the select options to the understandable form of the SQL script. For that, we have one class cl underscore shdb underscore control space, you will do cell tab is class name. This is the class, and we have one static method of the class combine cell tab. Just you have to do simple enter, the values will come. So you can see we have to pass an internal table over here. If you do F1 F2 over here, you can see that we have this type. This is the type of this one, and again this tt underscore table type have the further interface table type, and inside this table type we have this structure, and this structure have two fields, name and dereference. So we have to pass the field name which you want to filter out and the dereference value of the select options. So how to pass these things? Basically we have to pass the internal table. I will do here inline declaration. I will use value operator, and I want to pass some table, so two brackets, one for work area and one for the table, and I will do control space. Then I will get to know what I can pass. One thing I can pass dereference, but first I want to pass the field name, something called name is there. Yeah, name is there. So I want to pass the name value, and name first value will be the VBLN. I want to filter the VBLN field, and the second thing, dereference value I want to pass. Let me do a little bit up, so you can see. I know my video is there, sometime I forget. So dereference, and I want to pass this dereference value as well. So dereference value of the, I want to pass the reference of this particular select option. So how to pass the reference? You have to do reference and the value of the reference of this particular VBLN, and you have to pass as a table, not as a work area. That you have to make sure. So this one thing I have passed, and this is the like this. This is the first select option I have passed. Okay, and now I have to pass the second select options. What I will do? Okay, I will do this like this. I will do Control Alt arrow down button. Second field I have to pass Posner, POSNR, and I will do S underscore Posner, and Control Alt arrow down button again, and this time I have to pass the Kunna, field name is Kunnar, and this will be the S underscore Kunnar. And last and final, Control Alt arrow down button, and I will pass this one as a, okay, I have to close this also. Sorry, I forgot to close. This is the reference calling close. In this case, this is the thing, and in this case as Kunnar, and this time I have to pass Matner, MATNR, and S underscore Matner, MATNR. And let me delete this one. Let me replace Control X, Control V. Okay, so like that we have to pass the select options value. How many select options? Whatever the select options is there, you can pass, and you have to get the values here in the, this will form, this is give you one data in the string format. So I will use lv underscore where, WHERE, to get this data. This, like that I have converted this particular select options value to the lv underscore where. Let me activate Control F3. Now what I will do, I didn't created any select option, any AMDP process, any AMDP method till now. Let me create one AMDP method, class method I will create, so I can directly call like the static method, and handle underscore select option. You can write any name, not an issue. Underscore select underscore option, and you have to pass some values. Always remember to pass first is the importing parameter, is the mandate. It will always helpful for us, IV underscore mandate, because SQL script not do the implicit client handling. That is the reason I'm telling. SI mandate, type of the SI mandate. And second thing we have to pass this where field, whatever we code. So this is type of string. So value, and this will be iv underscore where, where, and type of this will be string. Okay, and third field we have to again return. We have to return value et underscore tab, or out tab, you can say et underscore out. Output, what we have to trigger, type, this should be type of tt underscore out. Control C and Control V. Like that we have to, this is our AMDP method implementation, method declaration. Here we can't recognize here it is AMDP or not. For that I have to do this method implementation. I have to do Control 1, and I can quickly add implementation for the handle select option. Okay, what I will do, I will convert first this particular AMDP first normal method to the AMDP procedure by database procedure, and for HANA database, and language will be SQL script. You can write language SQL script. I want to write, you can see color got changed. Whatever we are writing here, I already explained how to change this color in one of my previous video. And what I will do, I have to get the data, so I know which table I have to get the data, so I will use using VBAK, VBAP. I know I have to get the data from the VBAP, and then I have to KNA1 also I have to get some data, and last thing I have to get the customer description and MAKTX. MAKT table I have to get the material description. So these four table I want to use. Currently there is no implementation, that is the reason we might have getting bodies can't be empty of the AMDP function. So we have to get the data. I will get this where condition definitely. So I have to fill this ET out table. So what I will do, I will get the ET out table, the data. I have to write the big select statement. So select. So in this case I have to use dot. I will create so and so dot VBLN. I want to get first data, then second I want to get item data. So that will be item dot Posner, and third data I want to get the material, item dot material. So same item dot MATNR, and fourth field I want to get the material description that I will get from the MAKT table. So I will write MAKT dot MAKTX. I want to get basically MAKTX, and fourth table I want to get the Kunnar customer, that I also that I can get from the directly SO table, SO dot VBLN Kunnar, sorry Kunnar. This I already know where to get those data, so that is the reason I am writing quickly. Last I have to get name one, that I will get from the KNA1 table dot name one. So basically SO means VBAK table, item means VBAP table. So these all the tables we have to get the data. Select from VBAK. I can give alias name as SO. I have to put some on condition. I have to put first inner join to the VBAP table is item. Then I have to put the on condition. So why I pass that mandate? So I don't want to fetch the data from the other client, so I have to pass that mandate condition as well. MNDT should be always in this case I can do one thing, SO dot mandate should be equal to item dot mandate. This is very important when you are writing the code in the AMDP. You have to always pass this condition, and the next condition will be the SO dot VBLN should be equal to item dot VBLN. So like that I did inner join. Let me do one left outer join again. Left outer join with the KNA1 table. See KNA1 table, and I use directly KNA1 name, so no need to worry. So on so dot kunnar should equal to kna1 dot kunnar. And one more condition we have to pass, sorry, control C, control V, and we have to use and let me do, so you can see we have to pass mandate first, kna1 mandate, and last join we have to do with the left after join. I would have used less number of field. Let me remove this item description field. I don't want to make this much complex. Let's get that's it. So I can do again left outer join, and I can get the material description as well for this material. Let it be. So I got the data from the 3 table. I don't want to face the data from the MAKT table. So I got the data, and that's it. I got this data from this one, and I want to put some where condition. So I can't pass the where like this. If I would have passed this s underscore vbln, I can't pass vbln in s underscore vbln. This will not work in the SQL script. So for that purpose, what I did, let's get the data. There is 2 things we can do. I will explain both the things. First, I got the data, I made the joins, and I got the data in et underscore out. I'm getting some error. Let me remove this one since we are not getting the material description. So that's it. I want to get 1 2 3 4 5 field, and here also 1 2 3 4 5 field. Okay, so I got the data. Then I have to use the apply filter function module. Apply underscore. If you do control space, apply underscore. Oh, sorry. First thing what you have to pass, we have to pass first is a what filter you want to apply. I want to filter this one. And second thing, I have to pass the where condition. And based on what you want to pass, control space, you will do IV where I want to filter. And that's it. I have to get this data back in the some table. So I can get this data in et out itself, control V, and like that we can do. So you can see the error got removed. So what we are doing, we are passing this particular internal table over here, and this internal table will be filtered out based on this where condition, and we will be getting the final result. Here one more important thing is that I can pass one more condition here. Why I have passed this where I mandate, because I don't want to get the unnecessary data. So if you have some parameters and some other data that you want to filter, you filter first those data instead of filtering the select options. And if you have some mandatory select options there, then I will tell you how to handle those scenarios also. It's all about the performance, how we can get the laser data and then we apply the filter, or we can we can apply the filter and that we can get the data. That kind of things also we can do. So first let me pass this mandate field, where mandate s1 dot mandate equal to, I have to pass this scenario, control space IV, control space. So in this case mandate I will pass. So in this case I will get the data from the only the whatever the client I am passing, not from the other client. That's a very important thing. So shift F1. So that is the reason I have explicitly passed that mandate. I will show you this in the debug, how it will, the performance will impact. Let me do control F3 and let me activate this program also. Before activating, I have to call obviously this particular AMDP procedure in my program. Simple, control V, and you what you can do, you just have to call your particular function. Control space you can do. There is one function only, and that is also public. You can call, you can pass the SI mandate MNDT, and you can pass the where condition what you got from here, control C, control V. This is the string format, and you can get the data in the IT out, IT underscore out, and you can display this data whatever you are getting the data finally in using the CL demo exit handler class. So this is again important, cl underscore demo underscore output, control space you can do, and you can display control space, and you can display this it underscore output. This is very quick. Control C, control V, and shift F1. Let me activate this one, control F3, control F3, and let me put the breakpoint both the places. Let me activate this also, and let me put breakpoint first here, and one breakpoint I can put here as well, so we can see the results, how it is happening in the backend. Let me put both the things parallelly, and let me activate this program, control F3, and let me do F8. So since I put the breakpoint, the debugger perspective will trigger. It's taking time, it's okay. No, first we have to pass the select options. In this case, we have created the selection is for the VBLN, Posner, and since this normal report program SAP GUI, the selection is still not supported in the Eclipse. So one SAP GUI screen will appear. There we have to pass the select options. Taking time, it's okay. So you can go, you can see we can pass some values here. Let me pass some range 1, 2, 4. I want to see the sales order. Posner, as of now I will not pass Posner and other stuff, just I want to pass the sales order and see how it is behaving. Let me execute. The debugger is getting triggered. You can say debugger got triggered. In this case, so you can see the first what we are doing, we are combining all the select option in the where. You see the carefully this where, how it formed. Let me do F6. If you check this where, lv underscore where value, let me show you what it is telling. VBLN should be between this and this. This particular where condition got formed in the string format. One more thing, I didn't pass explicitly any mandate client field. So you have to make sure if you are handling, you have to pass some client as well. If you didn't pass the client, then in the where condition, the client will the filter on the client will not happen. In my case, what I did, I handled this client thing using this particular explicit mandate. I will tell you if you add the mandate what will happen, that also I will show you. Before that, let me do F5, and this is the where condition got passed. Let me do F5, and we came to the AMDP. So let me now AMDP debugger got triggered. So what I will do, it's taking time, F6. So you can see we came to the AMDP debugger. Let me do F6 because F5 will not work, and let me see the ET out value. You can see currently ET out value is a 1536 entries. It is not filtered out still based on this where conditions. Where condition having the big value, but based on this where condition, still it didn't filter out, and we got the. In my case, there is a less number of entries, but it is not always the case. We can get thousands of sales order in our production system. Millions of sales order can be there. So if we those all sales order will be pulled here. So we have to think about before passing, if we are having the sales order field is a mandatory field on the selection screen. So for the selection, for getting the data from the VBAK, first we can filter out based on that, and then we can filter out. We can apply the filter directly on the VBAK table. Then that VBAK internal table we can use for the further fetching the data. Again, it depends how much data you are having. So in this case, I didn't filtered first. I just got all the data. Then I applied this where condition. Let me see the ET out. There is currently 1536 entries. Let me do F6. Once you do F6, you can see ET out having only the 4 entries are there. And those 4 entries are based on our where condition. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 sales order only we got, and only 4 entries are there. So we put the filter, we applied the filter, we got all the data, and then we applied the filter. Let me do F8 and see the result finally. Let me switch to the ABAP perspective. So it's still debugging is going on. Sorry, let me do F8 because we are still in debugger. In the program, we didn't come out. Let me do F8. I think now we came out from the program. You can see 4 entries we can see. Let me go to the ABAP perspective. One thing I just want to, if you pass this mandate field, what will happen? Let me pass this one, Control Shift greater than, and I want to pass this as a MANDT. It can be the is based on our what is the your client field. In my case, so I'm using all the table. It is mandate field. That is the reason I have passed the mandate. Shift F1, and let me activate and show you what condition will be formed now. Control F3, and this time I will pass some other data also. Let me pass the some Posner or something like that. Let me do F8. Let me close it out. Let me do F8. Pass some range from the 2 to 11, and this time I want to get the data based on the Posner. I want to pass 10 Posner only. If you want to pass some customer also, you can pass. I just want to show you how it will look like in your where condition when the LV where will form. That is very important. So let me do F6, and if you click on the LV where condition, so you can see this carefully. See, since I have added this mandate field over here, MANDT, you can see the mandate got added here when we are applying in the filter itself. But in this case, whenever the filter will be applied, this condition also pass. We have to get the data from the current client. If you are not passing this particular mandate and you are not handling this in the select options of that, you have to make sure you have to pass here. Both ways fine. But again, depend the performance wise, this is because we are getting the data from the current client only. So always better to pass the client here itself. If you are we no need to pass here in that case. But in this case, both the places we pass, not an issue. There will be one additional condition, and VBL, then we got the VBL should come between this to this, and Posner should be 10. So this all condition got passed in the where. You have to see the where condition got formed in the SQL script form. Let me do F5. Now our AMDP debugger got triggered. In this case, you can see ET out currently have the 0 entries. Let me do F6. Same number of entries we get initially 15,536. Initially we have this much data only for this client, and since I have passed, you can see I have passed the client here as well. If I would have not passed client here, and then I would have get too much entries that I don't want from other client as well. So in this case, I have to filter out. In that case, when I would not pass here, I have to filter out here. In that case, that this where condition will get useful because in this I have passed the mandate. So both ways fine. But again, you have to see, we have to get the less data before applying the filter. That is our main purpose. Either you can, if you think every time user pass the VBLN mandatory is there, then you would have put VBAK here and your where condition, one of the where condition. You can create multiple where condition. In this case, I have created one where condition. You can create, if you want to filter based on one condition on the VBAK, another condition from VBAP, that you can create IV where 1, IV where 2, and then again you can pass VBAK and IV where 1. Then it will get the filter the data from the VBAK, and it will prepare ET underscore VBAK. Then finally you can combine. That also you can do based on how it works for you. You have to make sure you have to deal with less number of data. That is the very important thing, because we are getting the data from, this is ultimately SQL only. That is the main thing. So let me do F5 again. So in this case, I will get the data in ET output. Let me see what is the data in ET output. Okay, the F6. I got some dump. Let me see. It's good to have always dump in the database. While executing the handle the 260. Okay. So why I got dump, I will tell you. So I got to know. So since you know, in the AMDP option, here I didn't get the mandate field. And in my internal table, there is no mandate field. And I'm trying to filter with the mandate field. That is the reason I got the dump. And one more important thing I want to say, whenever you write the AMDP related thing, always get the exception should be get, and you have to display proper error instead of getting dump. What all are the classes are there to get the exception, that I will explain in upcoming video. But till now, what I did, what my mistake is that I didn't get the mandate field. So in this case, I have to get one mandate field also, MNDT, because I have to filter based on the mandate table to avoid this dump. And I have to get the mandate from here, one of the table. So in this case, so dot mandate is fine, so dot MNDT, and MNDT system got stuck, so it's MNDT. And in this case, I think so I have passed so dot MNDT. I will get this so dot MNDT value, and in the structure also so dot MNDT is there. Let me activate Control F3. Program I don't need to change because I did inline declaration. That is the advantage of the inline declaration. So since I didn't declare the structure over here, otherwise I would have I have to change here as well. So let me execute again. Let me close this dump. I don't like dump, and that is the reason you have to use always try catch block, and you have to handle all the error properly. Let me do a Control F3 and again do the F8 from our program and see what it is happening now. We will pass the same selection criteria so that we can see we are not getting dump again. So previously what we have passed something like that 2 to 11, and we have passed the Posner like 10, like this we have passed. Let me execute again, and this time let me do F6. Same where condition we will get. You can see mandate we are getting, and the VBLN we are getting, and Posner we are getting, same thing we are getting. Let me do F5. Let me switch to F6 and go to the AMDP debugger. So you can see we got the AMDP debugger. Currently there is no data. Let me get the data, eat it out, 1536 entry. Here we got the dump because that time we were not having mandate field, and we were trying to apply the mandate equal to 200. So that is the reason we were getting dump. It's a runtime dump. You are filtering out which is not available your internal table, how it will work. Let me do F6. This time it got work. We didn't get dump. Let me do F8. F8. Switch to ABAP perspective. Okay, we got the result. Let me go to ABAP perspective. You can see we got the result, and we got all the sales order which is having the line item 10. Some of the sales order is not having line item 10, so those we didn't get. Most of them we have the line item 10. So like that, you can use further filter option, you can use customer, you can use material. That's not matter. Ultimately what I want to explain, this where condition will be modified as per your select options. This where condition will be modified, and based on this we will be getting the filter, the value will be filtered from this ET out table. The important thing, suppose one thing that you have to make sure, in this case we have less number of data, it is fine. But some of the case if you are passing parameter also, so filter the based on the parameter data here itself, don't pass further, because if we filter here itself, then the number of entries will be less, and we will be able to achieve these things easily. Suppose we have some VKORZ we pass, we want to get based on this VKORZ only. Or one more thing I can say, if you have sales order, this is the mandatory field on the selection screen and is a range, that also we can pass. Then the advantage is that we know always user will pass the sales order. So we will filter based on, we can pass here VBAK, and I can get I can pass that IWare one where we have only sales or VBAK related conditions. Those we can pass, and I can get the IT underscore VBAK, and here I can use that IT underscore VBAK instead of the VBAK directly, that internal table, and then we can zoom further and we can do the whatever you want to do. Again we have to think and we have to do, because it's ultimately AMDP. Somehow we have to handle this where condition, because we can't use select options in the AMDP. I hope you like this video, you have learned something from this video. Please share these videos with others as well. With that, thank you and happy learning.